Hi, girls and guys. Before I break down this Dutch kickboxer involved street fight, keep in mind the guy only had a broken jaw. There's another fight that I broke down in the past involving a Dutch kickboxer. I'll link it in the description below. But in this video, keep in mind the guy did not survive. That said, also keep in mind in Holland, I don't know if you guys know, but Dutch kickboxers are the best kickboxers in the world. We spar very hard here. Like we go for the knockout when we spar. Like so you know it's hardcore here the way we train, unlike anywhere else. 2 to 5% of the kickboxing community are involved in organized crime, as I suspect these people were in this video. I'm not 100% sure though. But this happens often in the Netherlands. There's a lot of these kind of street fights, so expect more of this kind of content in the future. Whenever a new one comes out, I'll load it up. I'm not really gonna load up old ones. This happened a few days ago, like 2 days ago. So keep a lookout for that kind of content. And as I'm gonna break this down, first I'll break down the fight right now. Then I'll break down body language, important body language that I saw before and after the fight. And after that, I'll give you guys my take on it, what I think could have led up to the fight. I'll give you guys different possibilities of what I think, in my opinion, based on my experience here, bouncing at the doors, doing security work, and dealing with these kind of people, both in gyms and outside of gyms. So both on the street and clubs, and also in the training in the gyms, because I've trained in many different gyms and I've done security in many different cities. So I'll give you guys my take on that. And then afterwards, I'll load up the video how it is. It's in Dutch. It's from the Dutch media. So for those of you who speak Dutch, who want to see it that way, you guys can fast forward or watch me first and then watch that. And for those of you who are curious how Dutch sounds or how it is or whatever, or how it was, you guys can go ahead and see it. And that's pretty much it, guys. Any questions, any comments, let me know in the description below what you guys think. Make sure to subscribe, like, share if you haven't already. Take care. Enjoy. So this is Den Haag, The Hague. Mishandeling and someone got their ass whooped. Now here you guys see him walking up. Obviously he's a southpaw. Hooks him with the leading hand right in the jaw, breaks his jaw. The guy runs. Now when he runs, notice guys, he feels the impact of the hit when he runs. Then he falls. It's not a loss of balance. He's like half knocked out. Moves his leg to the side, tries to get the punch in, looking for the punch. Can't get the punch in. He's basically waiting, gets the punch in, and steps forward, does a low kick with the shin. Again, you guys see it again here. Moves the leg to the side so we can get that angle in. Gets that punch in, and then does that low kick. Okay, now, this is way before the fight. This is when he's talking on the phone, he's spitting. See, that's the body language I'm talking about, spitting. Looking over at the kid. Got off the phone now, and he's talking to his buddy. He's like laughing, smiling, giggling, right? This is way before the fight. Again, he spits. Second time he spat there. Now, this is after the fight. When he walks away, look, he spits again. And spits. There you go. That's the body language I'm talking about. Now, this is way before the fight. This kid right here is a kid that got hit, and they're over here in the back, the guys that assaulted him. Now, again, we're going to see these images. Now, keep in mind, guys, when I see guys like this at the door, I don't let them in most of the time unless I know the owner. Guys with this kind of attitude, you know, I can tell they have like the criminal thug attitude. I mean, do they look like athletes to you? They look like street thugs. The whole body language. Now, they took the train here and left. This is a part that's suspicious to me. They left. This is what she's talking about now here too, that they took off on one train, but then later they came back. So they took off on the train, and that kid is still there, that's what's suspicious to me, that they took the train, came back later again, and then the kid is still there. It's like, what the fuck? That kid doesn't have like a train to catch. It seems to me like the kid that got assaulted is just hanging out there way too long, which makes me suspect what he's doing in the train station, you know. So here comes the next train. So now it's like, this is part that looks organized to me, you know. These guys, one of them is like looking around for the other guy, you know, looking around for him, making sure no one's coming, making sure it's safe, like they've done it before. Then all this happens. I already broke it down for you guys. And then, you know, it's like the other guy is out there watching his back. He's making sure no one's coming. He can always whistle at him and tell him, you know what, let's go. Whatever, you know. Spits again, right? Now over here, he looks over at his right side. A clear example as to what kind of people give Dutch kickboxers a bad rep here in the Netherlands. See, this guy's obviously a kickboxer. You guys see from the hook he gave, and he's a lefty. He gave a right hook, chased the guy down, kicked him, threatened to punch him, sort of punched him, kicked him again as he was getting up. And the way he kicked him with the shin, if you guys see, he kicked him right with the shin. You know, I've seen this kind of fighting so many times here in the Netherlands. It's like you have almost like two types of people here. You either have the kids that grew up doing soccer and the kids that grew up doing kickboxing. This is a classic example of a kid that grew up doing kickboxing against some fool that doesn't know how to fight. The other guy obviously didn't know how to fight. He froze. But here's my take on it. I mean, this is my take on what it could have been. If you guys see from the beginning of the video, like I mentioned earlier, the guy is spitting. From beginning already, you see in his body language that he's a prick. I mean, these are the type of guys that I wouldn't let into the bar or club unless the owner knows him. You know, I mean, I see a guy walking with that kind of body language, spitting, like, you know, marking his territory on the ground, basically like a dog would piss. Like, when you see that kind of shit, you can only expect that kind of guy to also want to spit and take a piss inside your establishment. So those are the guys that we don't let in, you know. I mean, from the beginning, like from the beginning, I already noticed that in the video, you know, and these are the type of guys that will spit in your face inside the club. If they have the habit of spitting all the time, I mean, come on, he spat like twice before the fight, I think, and right after he beat the kid up, he spat one more time, you know, just making sure he's marking his fucking turf there, you know. Those kind of things. It's like those are the kind of people that we don't let in the clubs, you know. Also, if I'm on the street, let's say with my kids or with my girlfriend, with whoever, you know, people who I might feel are gonna be vulnerable or put on the spot if I get into a fight with some of these pricks, I tend to avoid that. If I see a guy spitting and walking like that, I tend to avoid people like that. You know, if I don't want to get into anything, or if you guys don't want to get into anything, or, you know, avoid things like that. But that said, in my opinion, what it could have been over, it could have been over different things. But if you guys see in the video, obviously, they're staring at each other, the guys leave, and then they come back, the guy's on the phone, and his adrenaline is sort of already high way before he gets close to him. So, you know, it could have been a case of that they got an order to beat the guy up because of the way he's with the phone. If you guys see, the phone is very suspicious, how he's not really like texting people. He's actually on the phone talking to someone, and he keeps looking over at the kid. I mean, that's one thing. And then another thing that it could be is that it's over drugs, that something with drugs happened there that we don't know about. You know, I'm just assuming the things that it could have been. I'm not saying this is what it was. The only evidence or the only statement that was given so far was from the kid that got beat up. He told the cops that it was a simple case of, what are you looking at? Him saying nothing, and that the guy walked up and beat him up. But I don't think that's what it was, because they sort of stared at him, were on the phone, they left, and then they came back for him later. So that's what trips me out, that they went in the train and left, and then they came back and got him. And the kid was still there somehow. Like, what, his train doesn't pass? I don't know how that part works, you know, but the whole thing is suspicious. I don't think it was just a case of you know, what are you looking at? It didn't seem like that to me at all. If that was the case, I think it would have started way earlier, you know. And yeah, in Holland, Dutch kickboxing has a reputation for being in ties with organized crime. See, in Holland, traditionally, we don't really have a lot of weapons here. They're starting to change the last few years, but it still kind of is like that. We don't really use weapons here, so the weapon of a lot of these organized crime people are kickboxers. They use them to collect money, to collect debts, to beat people up, like you guys see in this video. Like, it wouldn't surprise me if somebody sent him to beat this kid up. It wouldn't surprise me if this kid, like, maybe is a street dealer and he sent him to beat him up. It also wouldn't surprise me if really it was a case of what are you looking at, but I really highly doubt it. I mean, just from how the video looks to me, you know, and the body language, everything, the way these guys, their whole appearance, the way that these guys look, you know, and how they're traveling with each other too. Like, it's two of them, you know. It's also typical with these guys when they're doing their things. They're not alone. Even though it's only one guy acting, if you notice, the other guy's there, but it almost looks organized, if you guys know what I mean, right? Like, the other guy walks towards the train right when the guy walks up and beats him up. It's like they do this often, or like they've done it before. It didn't seem like something out of control. It seemed to me like something like they've done before. The other guy, the cops are looking for him, and they haven't found him yet. This happened a day or two ago, not yesterday, but the day before yesterday. So it's recent. I'm sure it's a matter of time before they find the guy, because, you know, it's Holland. They have cameras everywhere here. It's very hard to do something like this, especially in a big city like The Hague, like Den Haag. It's sort of the unofficial capital of the Netherlands. All the important anything that's important is in The Hague, even more so than in Amsterdam. So all the politicians, the king, the queen, all of that is over there. Embassies, you name it. Even the World Court is in The Hague. So it's full of cameras. I cannot imagine this guy getting away. They must catch him at some point and get to the bottom of this story. If I hear any updates on the story, of course I'll let you guys know. And yeah, it's different in the Netherlands as far as the way people see martial arts. And I heard recently that in the UK it's also very similar. It's like martial arts, kickboxing, kind of has a bad rep because 1, 2, 3, maybe 5% of the people in gyms, are mixed up with organized crime. And it's true, like I've seen it myself because I've been in many gyms and I've had offers to work here, to work there, to do certain things, and I've never taken them. I've always worked the right way. I did bouncing work, I did security work. We had our own company. I gave class. I taught class at different gyms. So I've never got mixed up with any of that stuff, But it's very easy for a lot of fighters to get mixed up in these kind of things, So yeah, that said, let me know what you guys think below happened from watching the images and how I broke it down. Let me know what you guys think it was over. Next, I will play the same video again, but it's in Dutch, so you guys can see the whole thing in Dutch.
Komt hij aanlopen. De twee mannen zijn ook naar het perron gegaan en staan een stuk verderop. Alleen degene die daadwerkelijk de klappen en schoppen heeft gegeven, brengen we herkenbaar in beeld. Er is hier nog niets aan de hand. Ze praten wat met elkaar en wachten op een tram. Het latere slachtoffer staat een stuk verderop alleen te wachten. Dan komt de tram eraan. De twee stappen in en rijden weg. De 18-jarige man blijft op het perron staan.
Hij dacht zelfs nog iets in de trant van, mooi, daar ben ik van af. Maar even later stopt er een tram en daar stappen weer die twee mannen uit. En die komen naar het perron waar hij staat te wachten.
Ook nu zijn de twee weer uitgebreid gefilmd op het perron. De man die de politie zoekt is hier duidelijk in beeld. Ze lopen samen wat heen en weer. Kijk alvast goed naar de man met de zwarte jas, de rode trainingsbroek en de witte schoenen. Als hun tram er op het linkerspoor aankomt, zien we rechts het slachtoffer met zijn handen in zijn zak op het perron lopen. De mannen staan een paar meter verderop. Eén van hen gaat richting de tram, de ander gaat op het slachtoffer af. En hij geeft ineens een harde vuistslag in zijn gezicht. Als hij weg wil rennen, struikelt hij en valt op de grond. Hij glijdt richting de rails. Voor de ogen van een aantal wachtende reizigers, waaronder een jong kind, krijgt hij een schop, een tweede vuistslag tegen zijn hoofd en weer een schop. Dan lukt het slachtoffer om weg te rennen van zijn belager. Die gaat snel met...
So yeah, make sure you guys always watch out for, guys who walk around like this, spitting around, looking at everybody, marking their turf. I mean, I don't have to tell you guys, it's kind of common sense. You guys just stay away from people like that, And, don't talk to them unless you're working, of course, and you need to talk to them, then that's different. Of course, there's exceptions if they come and bother you, but expect this kind of behavior. Expect to be spat at. Expect to be hit unexpectedly. And, unfortunately, the ones who hit first in most fights win. So that's got to be you, not the other guy. That's the reality of street fighting. That's got to be you, not the other guy. I think 98% of fights, the person who hits first and connects wins. That's the reality. Street fights, they end fast. They don't really last very long, So that said, to the next video, guys. Much love. Take care of yourself. Watch your six. Always. To the next video.